Howdy, 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 and thank you for joining us tonight. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Happy Easter to everyone here on March the 31st, 2024. My goodness, Easter's early this year, isn't it, Chad?
It definitely is, Bo.
My goodness. I was really surprised when we were down in Clearwater how many people are already down there for spring break. Sorry, just finished dinner with the fam here, so I'm still dealing with that. We had a big old ham, and man, Mama put out quite the spread for us today. So let's see who all's in here. Wait a minute, before we even get started, what is the weather report?
All right, here we go, Bo. We got a lot of work to do. Let's get right to it. 39 degrees and cloudy in Clearwater, Buffalo. 0% precip. The wind is at 3. And Roscoe advises from the Sky Chopper that it's 84% humid, Bo.
That little nutcase. And I want to thank everybody who's been sending in the suggestions for toys for him. We're definitely looking into. If we haven't already tried the suggestions that have been turned in, we're definitely going to be trying the ones that everybody's been sending in to me that we haven't tried yet. So yeah, he literally today we had another big knotted rope for him, and it took him about 5 minutes to detangle it down to the individual fibers. I walked over, picked him up, looked down, and it was nothing but a clump of string. That dog, boy. Let's see who all's here tonight. Mona Englert, may the force be with you. Hey, Clearwater Chad's in the chat tonight. Awesome. Sir Crepitus, Portland SP Melody. Let's see here. Anaphylaxis, howdy. And everybody say hi to Anna. Anna is one of my new mods for the channel. We just, if you haven't noticed, we got a crap ton of trolls have been jumping in and out of the chat. So got to do something about that. And it's just, I'm so thankful to have my mods, believe me. Grace and Faith for all, Jehovah's Witness Apostate. Make sure I'm not missing anybody down here in the chat. Chad, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I love it how I come in here and there's always these good conversations going on with everybody in the chat. I always like that.
I enjoy those too, Paul.
That's you, and I see you get it. You get in here and you chat with everybody. Here are some of my other mods. We have Gary Mackey and Laura Waldy. Those are the main two mods. And let's see if we're missing anybody else. We got Miss Sunrise Dawn is also one of my my mods for the channel. Haven't seen her in yet, but she should be in here. Miss Kitty with the fur baby up there. Thank you, ma'am. Sarasota Jerry's in the house. Thank you. Chitsa from down in Bala. So, and folks, I know I say it wrong because I just it's an inside joke kind of thing. Olson, 1987. Look at that fur baby. My goodness. Susan P. Susie SB Squirrel. Let's see. Oh, Z Fishman. Oh, and Jennifer Marin. That got her fur baby up there. Let's see. Selena Fan Para Siemper. I'm just calling you Selena because I'm not going to insult you by getting your name wrong. Debbie P. Oh, and Miss Sunrise Dawn is in here also with the fur baby up there. Valerie Boljak with the her fur baby. Make sure I'm not missing anybody else before we get into this. So, oh, crazy Reiki ladies here. Doc, what's going on, Doc? Kareen C. With all the different fur babies in the picture there. Tennessee Jenny, and I don't care how many times I see it. I love that little Chihuahua. That's just the prettiest little thing. I got to go play with my sister-in-law. Her new beau has a just over 1 year old female Great Dane named Lizzie. Oh my goodness. You talk about just a bundle of love. That big old dog. If she was standing here right now, she could look right into the camera. She'd be about that tall standing here beside of me. And she just hops around like a little rabbit. Oh, it's amazing. TKK. Let's see. 2 times voice of reasoning. All right. Let's see. Shannon Lee, Mandy Gonzalez, Nina Canadian, and let's see here. Mischief Managed. All right. So, Love Maddie. And I think, the not so graceful Swan. Believe me, I know I'm about as clumsy as can be. So Don't worry about not being graceful. Nerman is in here tonight. Thank you, Nerman. So, and I keep getting all these hate mails about messages. Why are you reading off everybody's name at the beginning of your live stream? I'm giving it time so everybody can get in here so we can say hello before we get rolling. Renee Michelle, Mercury 7. One after show, Love Maddie has her baby up in there. Kim McNeil and has looks like from Toronto. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. Poe, it's too bad there's a division in Scientology supporters. I wish we could all get along. I do too. And that's something I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night with Nasty Nathaniel. It's just simply there's so much division. There's so much, and it's almost like tribalism how it's going. Let's see. We got Janet, and make sure we're not Roxy Almeida. Oh, you see who we got in here, Chad?
Yep. Hey,
Cheryl, Steamboat Cheryl, creepy old lady, Solicitous. Make sure we're not missing anybody else before we get rolling here. I know Dreamer Wars says hi, Clearwater Chad. Looking forward to a good show. So, and Solicitous from Canada. Let's see, make sure we're not missing anything here. Sir Crepitus. Oh, sir, you need to get one of those buy me a coffee accounts. Chad, too. I know you're not in it for the money, but YouTube takes so much. My goodness, I know. And let's see, right there you go. That's my coffee. So yeah, I have one, and then I also have the Fourth Wall, which has the merch and stuff like that on it as well. Plus, I have the what do you call it? The daggone Amazon wish list. So, and let's say hi to Rose K. I did. Well, I may have scrolling through it, but now I got to you, didn't I? Sir Crepitus has yours and mine together at the same time.
Nice.
CMBR. Howdy. So, over the last week or so, there has been every channel's got it. And we've been covering what's been going on and how certain people have been reacting to things and things that they've been putting out. And there's been a lot of, as Sir Crepitus was putting it, there's been a lot of division. There's been a lot of negativity that's been going around. And I just want to address the fact that, how much I dislike the statement of there are doers and there are commenters. And the thing is that nothing's black and white like that anymore, folks. The simple fact of it is that everybody has their own thing, their own situation going on in life. Not everybody can be out there boots on the street, like I've said before. And sometimes it seems that some folks get this mentality about them, or they seem to have this kind of motto or mentality, as I was saying, where they are constantly, if you aren't in the same level as I am, then you're not doing anything. You're not helping out. And I think that is one of the biggest detractors that you're going to find in a community like this, where people are trying to be supportive. They're trying to be open, understanding, and trying to work towards a unified goal. And to have someone, especially someone that you look up to, or someone that has some kind of a little bit of celebrity type status going on in their life, and they are talking this way, and they make you feel as a viewer or supporter that you aren't doing anything. And I want to tell you that couldn't be further from the truth. So tonight, going into this, I wanted to come in and work on a more positive, uplifting kind of live stream tonight. It's Sunday night. It's Easter. Those who, like myself, are Christians, this is a celebration of the resurrection of Christ. If you're not a Christian, that's perfectly, that's your choice. I'm not telling anyone they have to be anything, but in view of my beliefs and how things are, with a lot of other people and their beliefs, I wanted to come in with a more positive, more uplifting kind of live stream tonight and help you see that there are so many ways that you can actually make a difference. But not everybody can get out there, not everybody can have a YouTube channel, not everybody can get down to Clearwater or out to LA or even to your local org. I get emails from people that are literally apologizing to me over the fact that they have something that they can't get out and get through in society very well. They have mobility issues, they have some kind of emotional things that are going on, and they don't like to be in crowded situations. They have other medical conditions, and the fact is that because because of that situation, they feel that they aren't doing anything. And I want to let you know you are, and that you know, the right people are going to support you in this, and they're going to understand. They're not going to sit there and they're not going to downgrade you or make you feel like a degraded person because you can't get out there and you can't go boots on the ground with things. You can't get out there and hold up signs. That's just how life is, folks. Not everybody is capable. And I think that, I had, in my own life, I had an uncle. Well, he's still alive. I shouldn't say had. He's still alive. He's deaf, been deaf since he was born. And a lot of people look at that as a disability. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as though that's just who he is because he's lived a very good life. Um, worked as a maintenance man in the local school district, made his way up to where he was one of the top people doing it. His wife, my aunt, she was a teacher in the school. They both retired from the school system, have a child. They have a beautiful home down in southwestern Ohio, and they're just good people. My uncle Roger, and he won't care if I say his name. He actually gets a kick out of it. But things like he's the one that actually got me into the whole thing about liking monster trucks. He used to take me to Autorama every year. He was in a club of other hearing impaired people, and it was an automobile club. And I didn't see any kind of disability there. What I saw was my uncle, this guy that I loved and had just amazing times with, and his friends. One of his good friends who's passed now was named Waldo. Waldo had an exact replica of the Dukes of Hazzard General Lee, all the way down to the horn that played the song. And I just remember these guys were some of the happiest people I've ever seen. And they weren't concerned with the fact that they couldn't hear. What they were concerned with was living life to its fullest. And so I want you all to realize that if you can't get out there, you can't do those kinds of things. It doesn't matter. You're here. You are supporting. You are part of this community. You are part of this family that we are building. And Chad, what are your thoughts on these things?
Oh, I agree. I agree with you 100%, Paul. I'm the same way. I'm lucky to just be alive and be with everyone myself here.
Absolutely, and a lot of my history, the things with the venomous snakes, the injuries that I've received throughout my life. For me, every day that I wake up is a gift from God, and I am so grateful of that. And that's why when we, even though I may not have the money to go down and do like a vacation type thing down in Florida where we could go down and do Clearwater, and I'm so thankful for the member of the channel that said, "Hey, I don't want you guys driving. I want you to fly down and all that." We're basically, counting pennies, making sure we're going to have the money to get down there because we're not rich, but I'm just trying to live life to the fullest. And I want you all to know that just because you can't get out there, you can't do those kinds of things, there is nothing wrong with that. Do not feel in any way, shape, or form that you are doing less for the community. So Let's see. We got Rodo from Chicago. Is that your phone or mine, Chad?
Mine, sorry.
Okay. Al, let's get on down here. I think I saw a question. Jehovah's Witness, Marilyn Honig has had her biscuits burned a lot. Boy, has she had her biscuits burned. Matter of fact, the reason why we started about a minute late, Chad could tell you, I was on Facebook Messenger with Marilyn Honig, and I said, hey, how much time? Holy crap, it's okay. We're supposed to have started already. Let's see. Roxy Almeida. Is Farrell Shallow the one who makes the body thetans? Yes, she is.
Yep.
Turn him around. Made my little cowboy body thetan. Chad, you've got yours, don't you?
I wish I would have had mine right next to me. Yeah, I have mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chad, she gave one to Chad. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk a few different ways that even though you can't get out there, you can't be boots on the ground, how you can continue to show your support, how you can be a part of this community, because Chad and I are perfect examples. Even though Chad's wearing some kind of Hawaiian beach shirt that makes him look like he's in monochrome right now, because he didn't wear one that has all the colors this time. How your support in these channels is actually doing. And I personally, Chad, I want to know your thoughts on this. I think the whole statement of you're either doing or you're commenting, I don't see how that's even close to being factual. What's your thoughts?
Oh, I mean, I agree, because everyone that is watching is supporting. They're supporting our channels, because we wouldn't be able to make this content if you guys weren't watching. And just by hitting the like and watching, you are supporting the cause. Not my cause, not Poe's cause, the cause.
Yeah, and I wish that the folks that make the statements like that would realize that without you there as part of our channels, there wouldn't be channels. All right. They may have a channel, but nobody be watching. So people on the AF are doing this. We are not fighting back, nor did any creators say stop supporting the AF. It's a one-sided fight. When will they stop? And, that's one of the things from the beginning, no matter how I feel about it, no matter how I feel about the board members, I agree with Aaron Smith-Levin on the fact that the more the merrier. All right. We now have SPTV Foundation. We have the Aftermath Foundation. We have two different foundations that are supposed to be out there about helping people who are coming out of Scientology get help. And if you look in the description of tonight's live stream, as with the last few that I've done, you will see all the way down, right in that description, there's a list of different organizations, and it's not just focused for Scientology. It's for several different things. Let's see here. Valerie Bojack, thank you for that super chat. I'm 100% disabled bet. Thank you for your service. And it never end. I can only watch and support the channel, but I can do that. And you know what? Even if you couldn't do a super chat, the fact is being here, that supports the channel. But I truly thank you for that. Laura Waldy gifted 10 memberships. So if you are one of those people that got one, make sure you are saying thank you to Laura for it. Let's see here. Let's see. The commenter are also the supporters. You can't criticize the people that support the channel. In someone's case, they are the people that donated to the treatment, and that's from Dreamer Wars. And exactly, again, I'm trying to stay away from the negative of this, because I'm trying to be more positive in this. And I know that a lot of people are, they like hearing when I'm getting a bit riled up, but I also want to show you that there is another side to this. I wish that he and Mike and John would send you an olive branch and make peace. That would, and I wouldn't refuse it. If I had the opportunity, either one of them said that they would sit down and do an interview with me. I'm not going to do a fluff piece, but I'm I'm also not going to come into it angry and being in a confrontational mood. Rose K, my life is busy outside YouTube, so I don't get to watch all the time or comment. Still know my contribution showing up, comment, subscribe is valued by at Poe on the go and others. Absolutely, Rose. That's the thing is that, I can't say it enough. Just being here, hitting the like button, commenting after the videos have played. If you can't make them live, that's fine. And if you watch a replay, if you do nothing more than just go into the comment section and type in hi. All right. What that does with the algorithm is it helps to get it out there more and more and more. The more that we put out content and the more people that see it, where we are talking about the evils of this cult and what it's done to people, what it has done to children, the more that it gets out there, the less that they can fight that. So believe me, let's see, Aunt Leonard, wish I could do more. I appreciate so much. You are all about to bring awareness, help us to better understand the ways we can be a megaphone to the world. Absolutely. And again, that goes back to the point of just simply being here, hitting that like button. It widens out the field of people that are actually going to see this content. They're going to hear it. They're going to see the evils that have been going on. MR is getting what he wants. Everyone talking about him, good or bad. Maybe we should just ignore him. That's why I'm trying to do this tonight. I'm not giving that squeaky wheel any grease tonight or any oil. I'm not putting up. Has a brand account, so no gifted memberships from me until I get around figuring out how to change. I have no idea. I'm the wrong person to ask about stuff like that. Marilyn was asking me about some things, and I'm just like, a couple of them I knew about. I really don't know. The person who knows this stuff more, Matt Cox, Aaron Smith-Levin, those guys are like gurus in this stuff. Roxy Almeida. I'm not always on YouTube, so I really enjoy the tidbits Marilyn posts each morning so I can see what's happening with SPTV creators produced throughout the day, especially yesterday. Yeah, and believe me, it just keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. Selena, it's sad how some people discount the importance of liking and subscribing to the SPTV channels. It's the only way I can show support right now. And if you knew how many people actually message me, email me, text me, hey, I had some very valid points I wanted to raise on this live stream or that live stream, but they're only responding to people who super chat. I can tell you right now, certain ones, Aaron's, he tries to get in the non-super chat chats in there or questions. The fact is he is so inundated with the number of people that are doing that it's almost impossible for him to keep up with it. And if he did, he'd be on for 4 hours at a time. So I know that's why, and some people get so angry. You get so far behind in your chat. Because I'm trying to address the questions as I see them. And sometimes it takes me a while because I don't know how to shut up, folks. And that's a real thing. But, the fact is that whether you do a super chat or not, I try to get them out there. Now, of course, the super chats and things like that, they're going to get up there first because, those folks did gift. But if you can't do it and you still got questions, post them in there. I'm not going, unless it's something that is either violating the rules of our chat, or it causes me like I did last night. And again, I apologize. I broke one of my own rules. I admit it fully. And I didn't even realize I had done it when I was doing it because I was so into the moment of the chats and the comments. Mandy Gonzalez, thank you. I think you have such a positive platform. You truly appreciate just the fact we spend time supporting you or just by showing up. Absolutely. Like I said, without each and every one of you out there is no real channel here. I had started this simply for the fact that I wanted to document travels with my children and our international travels and things like that. And then, of course, the pandemonium hit and travel shut down everywhere and you just weren't able to do it. So I changed it over to start doing tool reviews, equipment reviews, those kinds of things. And Then I fell into the whole SPTV community, and that's where I met our good friend Chad over here. And it really has turned into almost like a family with the way we all work together. Let's see, Yorkshire Lass. Oh, look, I got 2 fur babies on there.
Nice.
That's awesome. Let's get on down here. Steve got any Swedish Linda and got the fur baby. Good morning from Australia. How are you, Swedish Linda from Lena from Australia? No, I'm joking. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. CMBR, the double standard is common with psychopaths fueled by extreme jealousy. Will poison the well, and sometimes it will. And we're seeing that now with the number of people who are wanting to, they're wanting to jump on one side or the other. What I'm trying to say is try to have an open mind and remember that, we're all working towards the same goal. And there's going to be disputes. There's going to be discrepancies. We're not all going to get along. It's just how it is. But the fact is that we got to keep our eye on the prize as well. Mischief Managed. Amazon keeps telling me it can't find your wish list page. Let me see. I've had other people who were saying the same things about that. So let me see here. Let's see. There we go. Copy link. I'm gonna try it and see how this does. I don't know. It drives me crazy sometimes. Let's see. Let's see, Liz Burton. But when you get riled up, you did not speak to your audience with disrespect. Yeah, that's the thing is that even when I'm upset, I still don't. I'm not going to come at you folks. Even the trolls, and we get them in here. Believe me. Chad, have you been having those on yours?
A little bit. Nothing crazy though.
Yeah. We pretty much every live stream for the last few I've had trolls in. Roxy Almeida, I think as Never Ends, we do a good job showing our support to the content creators. All absolutely. Don't always get notified. People go live. Gratefully, I was always, you're one of the people that do. I'm sitting here right now. How long was I into the last live stream, Chad? 17 minutes before my.
Yeah, something like that. I heard you say that on. Yeah, I heard you say that.
It was crazy. I'm looking right now. And I still haven't gotten my notification that I'm live right now. Oh, wait a minute. Did it just come through? Nope. I still haven't gotten my notification, and we're 28 minutes into it.
Wow.
So, and sorry that, if you're looking for those, I'm not even getting it. And it's my channel. And Doc, member for a month. Oh my goodness, look at that pack of love there. Whoa. Nice. And I got to tell you, I hear people saying things about pitties and things like that. I got to tell you, some of the sweetest, most loving dogs I've ever seen have been pitties. They really have. For the first time in years, Sir Crepidus, I was brought to tears watching Aaron and Serge talking about children not being able to consent. I hope that video gets a lot of attention. I'm pretty sure if it hasn't already, it's going to. Let's see here, getting on down here a little bit. Let's see. Dawned on me. Please don't misrepresent Aaron. He only responds to super chats, and that's how it's been for years. That's not true. I've seen him respond to non-super chat questions. I've seen him respond to non-super chat comments. It does happen, but when you've got 2,000 people watching your live stream and you've got 150 supers coming through, sometimes it gets hard, but he does try.
Yeah, like Poe said, it's not hard when you have 250,000 subscribers. It's not
Let's
easy.
see. The not so great. So my honest opinion is that all SPTV channels need to stop reacting to the things said by others and ignore it. The more reaction videos, the more time wasted. We need to expose COS videos. Here's the problem is that if I don't address them, then I get a ton of messages, emails, comments, things like that. Why haven't you addressed this? Why haven't you addressed that? it's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. So we do it. And I'm going to be honest with you. There are a lot of times that there are things that are said that, whereas it may not be me that is being insulted by it, it is members of my channel, members of the community that are being insulted by things that are being said. And I'm sorry, but I spent the majority of my life standing up for others, and I'm going to do it now. No matter what happens, you do a great job, Ho. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so let me get on down here. I know I'm just killing this. M. McAleese. Because we value wisdom, what is comparable to LAPD supporting Scientology to wake Congress or others up? And that's a good question. I'm going to get into some of those points. Let's see. Jehovah's Witness apostate. OSA loves the division. How can we be effective if we are doing what OSA loves? Well, even that, and that's why you do lives like we're doing tonight, where we do the positive on the community. We continue to start to put that message out. And that's the way that we do it, because there's always going to be division. There's always going to be people who are butthurt. There are going to be people that are upset, jealousy, even those kinds of things. They all come in. That's the thing. Yeah, Don, we will disagree, because I've actually seen it happen, and it's not a misrepresentation when I've actually seen it happen. You may not have seen it happen, and you are fully within your right to believe that way, but I'm just telling it like it is. I'm going to say it if it is. Let's see. If you put question or comment in your chat, then it gets spotted. More outside member chat supers. If he has a in the back starring comments. Yeah, and that's another thing, is if you have someone who's in the background who's starring comments for you, that helps a lot too. But like I said, with me, I go through the chats over. They're right here on the side, on a sidebar on the screen. So I literally go through them. Let's see. Lizeka. OSA doesn't rule the world. They can't even function legally in society. That's, how many times has it been said that there is no such thing as them? So we're going to start off number one on, how you can be a doer and not a commenter, or you can be both, like Chad and I are. And we're going to start off number one. And this right here is how that you can find your representative in the United States House of Representatives. And let me see here. I'm going to put in a zip code. Let's put for Taylor, Michigan. I know that one. Live here, and it'll show you right there who your representative is. And the one for Taylor, Michigan is Shri Thanadar, and he represents the whole area that's covered in the map there. And so what you're literally going to do, I'm going to put the link right in there in the chat, is that you can actually go to this link, and what in the world did I do now? All right. You can go right to this link, and it's going to pull you up to the exact same page that I just showed there. All right. You put in your zip code, and it's going to lead you right to it's going to take you right to the page. Like I said, I put it in for Taylor, Michigan, and there is the map link that goes in on it. We'll get it a little, that's going to get it out here. See if that's going to enlarge the page for us. There we go. So it's right like that. We'll go back one, and all you got to do is right here. It says enter your zip code. All right. And that's a very easy way that you can find out who your state representative is. And what do you do when you're in that situation where you now know who your state representative is? Well, it's going to give you a link right to their congressional website. And you can also look them up, most of, not all of them. You can look it all up, Facebook, Twitter. I don't know who all has Twitter pages or Instagrams. But that is, ways that you can get hold of them, and you can message them from there. All right. So the next one is that if you want to go a bit higher on the in the food chain there, this is the state of Michigan, but I literally typed in who is my senator. and ussenate.gov. And it's going to have senators. It gives you different areas, things like that. You're going to be able to find out who your senator is from there. All right. And most of everybody should know, because every state has senators aren't like congressional members. They represent the entire state, whereas congressional members have a district that they represent. So, like here in Michigan, we have 2 members in the United States Senate that are representing us. All right. Why are these things important? Well, they are important for the fact of these are the people that you reach out to on the federal level that you can ask. And you can start sending in your complaints, your requests, your recommendations, those kinds of things. And that's where you start with that. And here's the thing, Mandy, is that I get that from a lot of people, but I'm also getting notices from people that they've sent emails out, they've sent letters, they've made phone calls into their congressional members, and they're getting responses back. Unfortunately, a lot of folks, and Aaron just did a piece on this the other day, where they're getting what is basically a cookie cutter kind of response about things. Well, the fact is that you don't allow that. Okay. They send you back a cookie kinder. Well, I'm informed of this. Thank you for reaching out to me. No, that's not going to fly. You need to, not you, your member of Congress, your senator. You need to actually give me an answer to this. Don't just say, I know what you're talking about. And thank you for reaching out. They will do that. And the reason they'll do that is they probably get 1,000 emails and notices a day. So if you think you're going to get a response back quickly, that doesn't always happen. The smaller or the less populated your district is, the quicker you're going to get a response from your member of Congress. And a lot of times, like in this area, I happen to know at least one member of Congress. I know a state senator who, not on the federal level. This is a person who is a member of the Michigan State Senate. I know a couple of people that are Michigan state representatives. But the fact is that you got to hold their feet to the fire. Don't let them just go with not responding to you. But also be careful in how that you're wording things. And Eagle-ite, thank you for your membership. Let's see, and got the pretty fur babies up there. That's awesome. And everybody, Sir Crepitus has gifted 5 memberships. So if you are one of the lucky people who got one of those, make sure that you are saying thank you. Let's see here. The Not So Grateful Son. It seems like that's all there is going on. From my perspective, is fewer and farther between that we see a video like Aaron or Surge's. I hope that we all don't get too distracted. Well, we all are putting out content, and as you see, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about some of the problems that we have in this fight against Scientology, where it comes to tribalism, those kinds of things, division, and it's a reality of it, folks. There's just no way of saying it doesn't happen. It's going to happen. But we're also seeing something great that is showing what I would call a division of genres, where we have people that started off on one thing that are moving into different areas, like they're coming into the anti-Scientology world from different perspectives. Those are things that you want to also helps to improve things. Let's see here. Now on the next step, let's see. All right. Now, I am doing this for the state of Michigan because I live in Michigan, but all you have to do is a Google search. Okay. So what I did was I put in, who is my state representative? What I got was Michigan House, michiganhouse.mi.gov, senate.michigan.gov. All right. Michigan House of Representatives. All right. And literally you can, here's one of the problems you got with that is I'm not going to put it in here because it's going to ask for your actual street address and all of that information. But each and every state should have something that's very similar to that. You also have, here it is for Michigan, the senatorial seats. So we have, and these are senators to the state of Michigan, not to the federal level. But if you go and you look on those, Chad, you're what New York, right?
New York. Yep. Yes, Bo.
Okay. Who is my New York state representative? So here we have New York State Assembly. It's nyassembly.gov. And just the same as that. And again, here it's going to ask you for your street address and those kinds of things. But that's what you want to do is you want to go in, you want to start looking at who are my representatives in my state? Who are my members of Congress? Who are my senators, whether they be on the federal level or whether they be on the state level? Because one of the things we want to take a look at is you look at, and Chad can also, he can tell you, you get down in Clearwater, Florida, there's beautiful buildings. There's so much room for expansion. They're right there on the coast. Just a beautiful area, beautiful weather, and it's dead down there. Chad, what did you tell him your reaction to what you saw down there?
Oh, I agree 100% with John Poe. It's dead down there. There could be so much going on, and there's no reason for no activity down there.
How great did it sound there at Nash Keys, the dueling piano bar? I mean, those guys were awesome in there.
Yep. Yeah, there could be someday it'll be a great town when Scientology is out of business.
There you go. Yeah, I think that town has so much. It has so much for it. Roxy Almeida. That's what I like about Montana. We barely have over 1 million people in the whole state, so I usually hear back personally from my representatives. We don't have Scientology in Wyoming. Maybe a reason why you don't have Scientology, is the ability to get hold of your representatives that easy. Creepy old lady. Same holds true for all destructive cults and with tax exemption. Save Scientology kids, save all cults kids. Absolutely, 100%. Okay, so now we've talked about how you get hold of your state representatives. Say you're hearing these stories, Serge, you're hearing from Liz, you're hearing from all these people who have been former members of Scientology talking about the abuses of children, or even a better one, not a better one, even a more recent representation of it is when Aaron was showing the photos from within the hotels where they were literally stuffing 11 people into a room that shouldn't hold any more than 2. So what do you do? And one thing, if I could learn how to spell correctly. All right. So what I've done here is I have gone in and I have done a Google search. I've done all this before, folks, but basically, who is the state attorney general? All right. And you can do it. We'll do New York State Attorney General. And I know this name, it's Letitia James. And I know that because of all the press coverage that she's gotten as of late. But if I want to do, let's do Wyoming State Attorney General, Bridget Hill, California. And we come up with Rob Bonta. Okay. So that is your next step is that you want to get in and you want to start checking out who your, okay. Linda, I'll get to your question in just a moment here. I see there's a bunch more in there. And I'm going to try to get through them, folks. It's just, I've got a lot of things I want to go over in this live stream. But you are looking at your state attorney general. And those are the next people that you want to talk to in this case. So you go to the attorney general's website there and literally just start looking through all of your different options. And you're going to come down to, like with this one, you have contact us. So that way you have a way of getting in contact with the attorney general. And you say, when you're doing it, if you'll remember, there was a while back where I was talking about in one of the lives how to, giving suggestions on how to report Scientology and the things that you're seeing. And I'll go into that a little more in depth here, but just a couple of things that you want to do is you don't want to send a 300 paragraph statement to them. You want to treat it as a police officer does or as a prosecutor does when they are going into court, and you want to keep it concise. You want to You want to put as much wording in with as few words as possible. So and here's the thing, and I'll tell you right now, they start looking at these emails, they start looking at these messages, and they see, there's 50 paragraphs. It would be the equivalent of a 10-page letter if it was sent to them. They're going to read the first paragraph and probably the last paragraph, and then they're going to move on. Mischief managed. People have different opinions. Division is fine in that respect. I wish that could get past apparently thinking they need to destroy anyone opposing them. It's a very interesting type of mentality. I wonder where that came from. Mischief managed. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, I don't know. That's something to think about, Paul.
Linda Brookshire, being an ex-police officer, how do you feel about the LAPD behavior? I think it is absolutely ridiculous. And that's one of those things that I want to get hold of Rob Bonta. And I want to ask him why the Attorney General's Office of the state of California isn't looking into how LAPD is handling things. When you have these arrests where they're actually arresting people, putting them in handcuffs, driving them to the police station, holding them for hours on end, taking their property, refusing to give their property back, and then saying, no, we never arrested these people. They were detained for further investigation. That, to me, that's a BS excuse. That's garbage from top to bottom. You arrested them and you brought them in, and your excuse now is, well, we didn't actually arrest them. We just brought them in for further investigation. That's just a catch-all to try to keep yourselves from getting in trouble. All right. When you go by the U.S. Supreme Court's definition of what an arrest is, it's very clearly Aaron Smith Levin was arrested. You've got, how many other, what was Confidential Chris? You had a few of them that were literally arrested. DOA gets swatted every other day, or it seems like. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Roxy Almeida, ours provide us with a phone call for town hall meetings. I guess the next time we have one, I could bring up the tax exemption for Scientology. I'm in Montana. I was just pointing out, no, okay. All righty. And then that's going to be the next thing is that you're going to, you've looked on that. Well, what's the next step under that? Well, you want to find out if your state has an actual state police. If they, some states will have actual state police agencies. Like here in the state of Michigan, we have the Michigan State Police. But in Ohio, they have the Ohio Highway Patrol. And for a number of years, the Ohio Highway Patrol could not even go to assist local police departments and sheriff's departments on incidents because they were, by state law, relegated to being on the highway. They were not supposed to be on anything other than state roads. So they actually had to put some kind of amendment into the law to allow the Ohio Highway Patrol to go back up local law enforcement agencies on calls. So in some states, you won't have a state police. You'll have a highway patrol that may not be able to actually investigate criminal acts that aren't involved with the actual highway or state roads. So where that would fall into is going to be your sheriff's department. Your sheriff's department are going to be your next point of contact in trying to work with this. And if we're not talking about just on the criminal side of it, if we're talking about on the side of, well, they are, if you're talking about it on the side of, they're coming in and they are buying up places of value and they're not doing anything with them. The thing is that you can go to your county trustees or your county commission, however it's set up in each and every county, but you go to them and you talk and you put your reasoning and what your fears are, what your beliefs are, and any kind of evidence that you have towards that county commission or towards the trustees that are overseeing your county. And when you do that, you are going to, you're going to go to them about, well, look, they're violating these kinds of laws. They're doing this, they're doing that. What are they actually bringing to the community? Here's what's happening in Clearwater, Florida. And the fact is that we need to make sure that they aren't doing it here in our community. Those are the kinds of things that you're going to go to with them. If it's something that's on the criminal side of it, you're going to want to go to the law enforcement agency that's actually going to handle it. And whether it be your state police or your sheriff's department or your state attorney general. That's where it's all going to start with. Some states now are actually states that don't have an actual state police agency have begun forming things like you have the state Bureau of Investigations, where it would be like say Georgia Bureau of Investigations or California Bureau of Investigations, Florida Law Enforcement Commission, those kinds of things. Those would be the agencies that you'd look for. But what you're going to ask is, when you do a Google search, what is the highest law enforcement agency in my state? And that's where you're going to begin with that. And everybody say howdy to Sharifa. Good to see you back in here tonight. Are you getting enough rest? Are you doing okay? Are you feeling better? Let's see. Renee Michelle, DOA is getting smart about the cops. Today, they tried to make him get off the sidewalk. He called them out on their BS and they didn't do anything. Yeah, because you can't, as long as you are not physically obstructing the sidewalk for others to pass by on it, they can't tell you can't be on a sidewalk. They can try to play their little games. But the fact is that what can they do? Let's see. Trying to get through a lot of these here. And Sharifa has gifted 5 memberships, so make sure that you thank Sharifa for that. Let's see. You're getting on down here through things. I'm trying to get through this, make sure I'm not missing stuff. All right. So now let's talk about, you found out who you want to talk to and how now how do you want to handle it? Okay. So it's going to be the same all the way down from state senator, from your U.S. Senator, U.S. member of the House of Representatives, all the way down to your local town hall. We'll start off with the town hall first. If you go in front of the town hall, you submit a letter or something like that. Most town hall meetings have a limited amount of time that they will allow you to speak. Okay. So that's where getting everything concise, getting it all put together in an easily understandable format. Do not think that there is don't think bad about having someone else check what you've written. A lot of times, with things like that, I'm either going to be good, Sharif, I'm glad you're doing good. A lot of times, if I'm going to be presenting some kind of letter to some kind of organization like that, I'll bounce it off my wife. I'll bounce it off a fellow law enforcement officer. I'll bounce it off a friend that's an attorney. But I'm going to bounce it off someone, and I want to make sure that it meets criteria. Number one is the number one thing is, sorry, I got a blister on my finger here, on my hand here, and it's driving me nuts. But the number one thing I want to do is I want to get as much information in with as a few words as possible. I want to make sure that I have evidence supporting what I am saying. I want to make sure that it is understandable on any level. I don't want to come in with super legal talk and things like that. And, unfortunately, folks, I do it. My wife does it. Everybody that I know pretty much does the same thing. They will start writing these things out, and law and order, NCIS, those kinds of things start playing through your head. Don't worry about using that kind of talk. Don't worry about using, language or verbiage that is more of a legal type. Most of your mayor and council members, township trustees, they are regular people. Sometimes they will be business owners, but for the most part, they're not going to be attorneys. They're not going to be judges. They're not going to be in the legal profession. So normal, regular, everyday talk. And that's how I try to take all of mine, is I like to put it in simple, concise formats. I use the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. All right. I want anybody to be able to understand it. I want anybody to be able to hear what I am saying and know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing your town hall meetings, your township meetings, those kinds of things, is that when you're doing that, you have, sometimes it'll be a 2-minute Let's see. You have a 2-minute time limit. Sometimes you have a 3-minute time limit. It depends on how many people are going to be coming up in front of that council or that commission. And you're going to have to deal with the fact that you are going to be up there with folks that are going to be talking about, you put a stop sign at the end of my street, and I think that that is an obstruction and you need to deal with it. You're going to deal with things. I have literally seen people come up into mayor and council meetings with pictures of dog droppings in their neighbor's backyard, where they've literally gone up over a privacy fence and taken photographs because the neighbor's dog went number 2 in the backyard and they want something done about it. I have literally seen this many times. I have seen where neighbors have said, my neighbor is shoveling their sidewalk and they're throwing the snow too close to the edge of the street, and I think it's going to be a problem. So you're going to be there with those kinds of things. You want to come in you want to have a concerned kind of rationale how you're doing it. You want to show them that you do have concern. And I'm telling you this from the point of, I've been on both sides of that. I've been up there as as someone in an executive position or an administrative position within the city, and I've also been someone who has been a citizen that is speaking before mayor and council. And people you see the folks that get up there and they're all worked up and they're really angry and they're yelling and things like that. Those are the ones that they get ignored. They will say things to placate them, but they're like, oh Lord, we're not even dealing with this. This is just too much. But the fact is that you come up and you have a concern in your voice, but you're also very clear, very open, and you present it in an honest format, and you don't try to go way bigger than you need to. Those are the kinds of things that are going to get the most reaction. Also coming up and having a copy of what you are going to say to them and present that to each member of the mayor and council or the trustees. And what you're going to want to do is you want to find out before that meeting if they will allow you to walk up and hand those copies to them, or if you will have to have it presented beforehand so that it can be placed into the actual minutes for that meeting. And that is another thing that is really good, is actually having it posted in the minutes. Chadwick Van Vanderhall will be speaking about his concerns about Scientology not plowing their sidewalks. That kind, having that right there in the minutes, that actually helps to get the word out just as much. So when you're doing those kinds of things and you're going and you're making these presentations on a city council level, on a state, on a county commission kind of level, those are the kinds of things you want to do. You just have to remember, the higher you go up the food chain, the more people that are going to be there that want to have their voice heard that is going through in there. So you want to do something that's going to help you to stand out and helps get the word out to everyone.
Absolutely.
Chadwick, your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Poe. And for the elected officials, if they refuse to do something, we have elections every 4 years. We just get new elected officials.
Thank you for bringing that up. That was something else I was going to bring up, is that some things that you also want to look into, the possibility of, is that if you are part of your community that is, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, those kinds of things, something that really helps to get a politician motivated is the fact that they get fronted out on the fact. I tried to talk to my state representative, Chad Clearwater, and I've tried to talk to him numerous times, and I've gotten responses back that are nothing more than thank you for reaching out to me on this. He is showing nothing to do. He's showing no movement forward in how he's going to be able to handle this, or if he's even going to look into it in the first place. Is this the kind of person that you want representing us when I've given this person clear evidence that we have child trafficking going on? There are essays going on with children in this organization, that there are children that are being worked in illegal ways. These are the kinds of things that you start putting that out there, and you'll be amazed at how quickly politicians want to turn around and start doing things. When someone puts something like that out there and they bring in, like Marilyn Honig does, you bring in the receipts, you bring in the copies of the emails that you sent them, you bring in the responses that were sent to you. You put those things together, you put them in a very organized manner, and you post that into these social media groups, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, those kinds of things, Instagram. But you put it out there. Hey, folks, everybody that lives in Buffalo, the Buffalo, New York area, here is what Chad Clearwater is not doing. I have contacted him X amount of times. He is not doing it. He's not looking into this. All I get is a boilerplate kind of response from him, and I'm not standing up for it. Do you want an organization that is going to be doing things that is harming children in our community? And do you want representatives who are refusing to do anything about it? Those things get a really quick response, believe me. Gary Mackey, thank you for that super chat. John, you know I love and respect you most, and most law enforcement officers, but went to a dark space after listening to Zach. Oh my gosh. I've got to catch up on that. Yeah. She escaped, and LAPD basically allowed the cult to retrieve her and bring her back. I was so mad. I've got to get over there and see that. And that was on your lawyer friend Zach's channel last night. And I believe there was a follow-up to it. I just, honestly, family's over here today. It's Easter. The wife and I actually went to a Saturday night service for church last night. So I'm playing catch up on everything right now. And that's something that a lot of you may not realize is we've still got full lives outside of the YouTube community. So we are trying to make sure that I'm trying to keep up with things as much as I can, but I also have a wife of 33 plus years. I have 26 going on 27-year-old twins. I have a full family, and I'm trying to keep up best as I can. So Roxy Almeida, wow, quite a few memberships. That is awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. Marilyn, and that's one of the things Marilyn and I were talking about, was the fact that, and thank you so much. I see a lot of you have been using like the Roscoe emojis and those kinds of things. I love seeing that. Just remember, sometimes I don't see them on here because the way that I'll pull one up so I can show you. I just saw, and of course, the minute I'm looking at, oh my word, Chad, did you see what's here?
Yeah.
He's so nasty. And remember, folks, tomorrow night, Nasty Nathaniel will be joining me again as we're talking about tribalism and about crossing genres in the world of YouTube and in the SPTV world and those kinds of things. So it's going to be a really, let's see. Let's see here. Sharifa, explain that a little bit more for me. Let's see here, but he'll be here. We're going to be talking about all these different things that are going on, and we're going to be talking about the efforts of trying to get everybody to come back together and work together. We can only throw out the olive branch so far, and if it's not accepted, I just keep trying. I can't make people do anything, but I want to at least make it very clear that, Mike Render, if you want to talk to me, you are more than welcome. I will not come at you confrontationally. I will be honest, and I will make my feelings known, but I'm not going to attack you if you want to reach out to me. John Atack, if you want to reach out to me, exactly the same thing. I will, I'm offering that olive branch, but I am not, let me make it very clear. We will be able to have an open and honest discussion. But I'm not going to just bend and say, kiss the ring and all that. That's not going to happen.
Kiss the Emmy, Pope. Kiss the Emmy.
Oh, you were all over. I saw you in Clearwater. Hey, there's Tamper Brad's office. We got to go. Oh my gosh, you almost fell out of the car jumping out so fast. You were so starstruck. No,
I was. But I was looking for Mike Render at the Starbucks too. I didn't see him.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. Yeah, well, me and my fiance, I don't go to Starbucks, so But here's the example, folks. If you're using the emojis, the Roscoe emoji or the crushed it emoji, those kinds of things, that's what I see on this end. Is I literally see, Roscoe, that kind of stuff. So, and I'm not ignoring it. Sometimes I literally don't even realize it because I don't see it. Let's see, Sharifa. I can't do a lot because my contract don't allow that to do some things because of their reputation. Yeah, and there are, but that's where in your situation, being here, supporting the channel, hitting that like button, or if you can't catch the live, getting into the the replay of it and just going into the comment section and typing hi. By doing those things, that right there helps the channel because it helps to push the algorithm. And that's very important with it. And Sharifa, I mean, look how many times you've come in here and you've gifted memberships. You are helping, and you don't have a huge Scientology base where you're at, and it wouldn't be easy for you to get over to them. We've talked about that before, just simply for the logistics of you trying to get over to where Scientology is in your country. That's not going to be the easiest thing. And this goes for everyone out there. Just there, that's how it is, folks. It's not always going to be the easiest thing. If you live in Wyoming, you don't have Scientology in Wyoming, okay, but you're here supporting it on the different channels, and not just mine. You're going to Maryland's channel, you're going to Aaron's channel, you're going to literally Serge, literally Michael, oh no, Nora, all those different channels, and you are getting out there and you are supporting, and that algorithm keeps growing, and this community keeps growing day by day by day. I mean, if you look at Aaron Smith Levin's channel, I'm just going to go to it real quick here. Where's this? I'm trying to figure out which. Oh, there we go. The crazy thing is, and I'm putting the link up here for it. Just simply, I got to hit the mute button real quick here. I'm going to put the link up there for it. If you haven't seen it, it's about child counselors with Scientology. Make sure you get over and see that. That only has 20,000 views at this point. It needs to be out there. These are, pushing that, making sure the more people that see it, that's important. And as you see, folks, I believe, just like Aaron, I think he says it the best of all, the more the merrier. The more channels we have out here, that's that much more content that's going out. That many more people are hearing about it. I'm not a big channel, and Aaron's a big channel. I'm not, and I don't believe in myself as such, but I believe in supporting other channels. I believe in getting the message out there. That's why Matt, MMA, Scientology Canada, when he comes in, I'm making sure I'm pushing his, making sure putting the link up there. When we got Marjan is coming in here, Marjan's channel is growing. She's not just doing Scientology, but she's also doing the Jehovah's Witnesses. She's going at other groups, and that's what we need. Mischief Managed. Do you actually need to be fingerprinted booked to be considered arrested? How long can they hold you if you haven't been officially arrested? Well, one of the things about that, I'm going to go to, and I pulled it up before. Okay. Let's see here. See, here's one of the problems. And I'll put this up so you can see it real quick. When you go to something like, what I'm looking at here is you go to the, Supreme Court definition of arrest. You go to that, it opens up on this. And what is it? Let's see here. This is, my goodness, 33 pages. Okay. So, you've got to go through all that. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to look at like law school definitions. And there are a lot of them that will have a very concise definition on it. And let's see here. And of course, this time, last time I did this, it had one that popped up real quick that was right in there. But basically, it's any time that they are actually, if they're putting you in handcuffs, they are restricting your ability to move. They're actually not just restricting, they are making it so that you cannot leave from the scene. There is a difference between detainment and arrest. A detainment, they're going to tell you you are being detained, and they may not handcuff you. They may not pull you from your vehicle. They may not put you over on. Did you see that, Chad? From
Yeah,
Jeff?
yeah. I was just gonna respond. That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
But there's a difference. A traffic stop is considered a form of detainment, but when they literally put you in handcuffs, put you into a police car and drive you to the police department, that, by the definitions that I have seen from the United States Supreme Court, it falls within the definition of that. Okay. And we have a breaking alert here from Jeffrey Augustine at the Scientology Money Project. Bolo, be on the lookout. Clearwater Chad, known Joker Degrader, level A. Yeah. Thank you, Jeffrey. Everybody say hey to Jeffrey. He is without a doubt one of the most informed, educated people that you will find when it comes to looking into Scientology and what they have done and the crimes that they are committing, how their money works, all those different things. I have a huge amount of respect for Jeffrey. He's also a private investigator. And the night that Aaron was arrested, he went to the Hollywood, where I believe it was the Hollywood division where they were holding him, went there with an attorney to see about getting Aaron out. And that's the kind of person he is. So, Chad, go ahead and let him have it. I know you're.
Yeah, no, I agree. And anyone that disagrees with that statement is under investigation, Poe.
There you go. Let's see. Ushi Burmi. YouTube are jamming that video. Thanks. Are they blocking it? And that's something that may well happen. I'm subscribed to, and thank you, Sharifa. Sure, love to help your channel. Well, we love having you here. Just the fact that you are here, we love having you here. The thing is that, let's see. There we go. Jeffrey, I never use that comment. Book 'em, Dano. No, never. All right. Schlater, you guys are amazing. And I'm still trying to get, wanting to get in touch with you. But like I said, it has been absolutely chaotic. So, Donna Cahill, what is that? Oh, look at that little poodle.
Nice.
Oh, pretty fur baby there. No, Jeff, I have never used the term book 'em, Dano. I have said, I have directed younger officers to go do the booking process, but I've never used the term Dano.
Lost opportunity, Poe.
Yep. Let's see. Sir Crepitus. It might possibly vary from state to state, but in California, every police department is mandated to make their policy manual available online. Folks should check in their own states. Very, very, very true. Every state has its own laws, and they are constantly evolving. Here in the state of Michigan, we would get a weekly printout or a weekly email from the Michigan State Police, and that would be specifically on criminal law updates, whether it be any kind of court precedent that was set by a ruling from a judge, whether on a state or federal level, that sets a precedent in how things are handled, definitions, different things like that. If there are new laws that have been put in place, like here in Michigan, and I'm waiting to hear back on whether or not it is actual or not, but when it comes to the herbage and the use thereof, there were a lot of companies that, even though it has become legal here in Michigan for recreational usage, there are a lot of companies that say, we're still going to test you, and if you show positive for it, then you can lose your job. And they are using that. One of the issues, and someone brought that up, is, are you doing that for your employees that are partaking in the use of alcohol? Are you doing that for employees on? So there's a new law saying that companies cannot test for that, cannot use that against you. I'm waiting to see whether it's been signed by the judge and whether or not it's been put into practice. So Leo Linda Lou 33, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the family.
Welcome.
Thank you. And back when I first started rolling and my channel got over 1,000 subscribers, and it met all the criteria for being monetized, when I could finally have members of the I could have people get memberships to the channel. I put it out there. What do you guys want to be named? And overwhelmingly, the survey for that is everybody wanted to be called the Popos. So that's how that worked out. And so welcome to the family. FC Nancy. Yeah. Like I was saying, here we are. And let me check my cellular telephone here. And I actually have no new notifications. So I haven't even been sent a notification that my channel that I've gone live for tonight. And I'm an hour and 15 minutes into this live stream. So that, that's a YouTube thing. I wish it wasn't like that. Teresa Baldassari, happy Easter. Appreciate you all. We appreciate you, and happy Easter to you as well. Stasha is proud to be a Popo. And that came off of the fact of a lot of people, the slang terminology is that the Popo are coming, the police. So let's see. Renee Michelle, Streets has caught LA taking things offline, and he confronts them, and they act like it was a mistake and put it back up. Well, here's one of the things you got to think about. You walk up to an officer standing in front of La Poupelle that's out there. They have been stationed out there for the night. And you go, hey, I noticed that you guys took this down off your website. That officer 9 times out of 10 is not going to have any access to that other than what the general public does. They have no ability to have it put up there. They have no ability to have it taken down. They have no access to it. And I'm telling you right now, from personal experience, when it comes to, especially in larger departments, there is a dedicated office that does nothing more than social media type stuff, or they do the PR type work. They are the ones through the chief's office and through the legal department for the department. They're going to be the ones who make the decisions what goes up and what isn't going to be up on their social media pages, on their official websites, those kinds of things. And and those officers on the street will be like, hey, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, it was taken down. Okay, I don't know. But the fact is 9 times out of 10, especially in a department like LA, if it's a departmental website or it's a departmental social media thing, those officers on the street have no connection to that whatsoever. For the amount of subscribers you have, Poe, you certainly have a lot of people who are members. I'm also I was seeing a lot of green up in there. Absolutely. And that's the awesome thing with you've got Laura Waldy, you've got Sharifa, several other people that have gifted memberships, and that just balloons my membership levels up when they gift memberships like that. And that's awesome to see those kinds of things. I'm really happy to see those kinds of things on like Marilyn Honig's channel and on other channels where they are being gifted memberships as well. Let's see. Alicia Medley, you did an amazing job today. Thank you so very much. And thank you for that super chat. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything else here. Chad, what are your thoughts on a lot of this so far?
Oh, I like the fact that you covered about the state reps earlier, Poe. I think that's really important that we can do something.
I think a lot of times we focus too much on federal, United States Congress, those kinds of things. And I think that it's important that we also realize that it's not just on the federal level. We can work on our state level. We can work on our local level as well. That's one of the things. I know full well Mark Bunker is not done with his fight against Scientology. I know he's not going to back down. He hasn't in decades now. He's been one of the people who's gotten almost no recognition for the things that he's done. But it also broke my heart to see that he didn't get reelected into the Clearwater City Council, because he was one of the only people that was bringing that fight to Scientology. Without having that voice there, that really hurts things. So what do you think about that?
I think it shows how much money that Scientology has poured into the campaign that he didn't get reelected, because a lot of money was pumped in the Mark's campaign, and it just wasn't enough.
A lot more than just the money aspect of it. Do me a favor, take over for 1 second. I gotta get that monster. He's clawing at the door.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so like I said, guys, I agree with Poe that there's something that can be done. You can contact your local state for things to be done, and if they don't do what we want, we reelect them in 4 years, folks. That's just a fact. And it's a big support that everyone watches the channel, and that's a big support. Everyone's a supporter and an advocate, and you know, it was a lot of fun to be in Clearwater with Poe. He's a good guy. I felt like I was working the beat with him. He helps people in real life. He helped a lady that fell when we were having lunch.
You know that little fraud? He sat there clawing at the door on me, and the minute I opened up the door, he ran downstairs, jumped on the back of the couch behind Mama, and just sat there looking at me like, "What?"
Wow.
Little monster. I love that dog to death. Don't get me wrong. Let's see. Catherine Kelly, child advocacy threatens the cult. The more that we get it out there, the more that that it's out there in the world, that people know about the problems that are going on with the child work abuses, the SAs that have gone on with other children who have been in Scientology. When you listen to Jamie Mustard's absolutely heartbreaking story about being put into what basically feels like nothing more than a warehouse for newborn infants, being taken directly from the maternity ward in the hospital after birth and taken to this place where he is placed in a crib where you have one person dealing with 30 newborn infants, and they're getting no personal interaction. They're not getting the care that they need. They're not getting any kind of social interaction. And basically, and I've talked about that, these are the kind of stories that you heard out of Germany, where they were doing this, where they were trying to build the perfect race, that kind of thing, where they were literally having child after child after child, putting them into these facilities where they were being raised more like robots than anything else. That as children, they're being made to go through all of the different conditioning and counseling and auditing and those things, being held to the tech of LRH that we all know is nothing more than a crock of BS. But this is what is happening with children. And absolutely, the more that this gets out there, the more that we know, the more that the rest of society knows, the less that it can be ignored, and the more that it has to be taken care of. I saw something. Hold on, right here. That would be great, KD. We should find a way to get a testimony to the UN directly. Let me see how to contact the UN. All right, and here we go.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Ask it, and I will share. I will look it up, and I will share it here, folks. So right here, UN.org, contact us. And it has different things. Well, that's for employment. Spokesperson's office, media accreditation, frequently asked questions, rights and permissions, fraud alert. Let's go to frequently asked questions. Let's see. A lot of this has to do with, those first two have to do with internships and employment, contribute. Let's see. Send a proposal via email to the Secretary General, have a project, things like that. All right. Let's see how to contact the UN on child trafficking. Let's see, United States Office on Drugs and Crime, which the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Here we go, folks. Right here. And this UNODC, Human Trafficking and Migrant Smuggling section. And it gives you the contacts right there. And I will put the email address right up there. That's the one I wanted to get. So we could put that right up there. All right. Those kinds of things. Same way, if you're wanting to get in touch with the FBI, you're going to look up how to contact the FBI, and you're going to want to go through your local field offices for those kinds of things. But those are things that you're going to want to do. Again, you want to follow the format. You want to keep it concise. You want to keep it in verbiage that anyone can understand. You got to remember, if it's on the United Nations level, that you have people who are speaking multiple languages. They may be fluent in those languages, but sometimes there are going to be geographic vernacular that are used. Like if you're from Appalachia, which I know a lot more about, because, being Appalachian, my family's we've all been hill runners for years in the Appalachia and the Smoky Mountains area. But one of the things is that we have vernacular and we have verbiage that we use in that area that people don't understand elsewhere. I know it for a fact when I came to Michigan, people are like, "What? What do you mean by that? What? What?" Okay. So you want to use it in a common verbiage, those kinds of things. You want to keep the way that you are wording things in a more simple format, but you want to be able to express what you are saying. Lizeka, people are sending the protesters money for legal fees, tires, equipment, arts, crafts, snacks, ideas. Helps them a lot. We got Confident Chris a new tooth. That's awesome. And those are the great thing. Those are great ways that you can get out there and help with those things. Let's see here. Trying to get through these, make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see. Renee Michelle, has anyone made a sample letter that you can pull from to write? It would be great to have a primer. One of the things I want to do is I want to talk to your lawyer friend, Zach. Zach and I have been talking. We've been wanting to do another live stream together. And I think that having him as, being someone who is an actual licensed practicing attorney, he's going to be able to give great insight to those kinds of things. But he's, you take that and then you take me with my experiences, and hopefully between the two of us, we can draft a letter and, basically a rubber stamp kind of letter that you can use as a gateway to get into talking to a person, whether it be in your United States House of Representatives, your state representatives, your state attorney general, your state police department, state bureau of investigation, your local city hall, those kinds of things. And I'm really wanting to talk to Zach about that so that we can actually come up with some kind of actual plan to do those things. But that's those are all things that I'm looking at. Go ahead, Chad.
I was just going to say, after that, we could have Frank Amadeo double check the letters for any and all errors. It'll be a good letter after that, Poe.
Yep. And we would definitely look forward to Frank's comments on that. But yes, Renee, that is something I've been thinking about. Been wanting to reach out to Zach. Like I said, it's just been mania trying to get things done lately. Teslix, sorry I'm late watching from Spain. Hey, don't worry about it. You're here, whether you're here on the replay crew, whether you're here live, you're still here. That's the main thing. On vacation question, what happened to, well, I discussed that in my live stream. What was that, night before last, Friday night?
Yeah.
And I'm not commenting any further out of respect, and then for the fact that there are things said to me in confidence by people. There are things that have been, there's information that I know, but I want to make sure that I stand by my integrity and my honor and by my friendship, that I've commented on it, and that's as far as I could go on it. But if you want to watch from last night, I did talk about it very early in it. Look who is here, Chad. Creepy is here.
Hey, Creepy,
where have you been, Creepy? So Creepy, another Michigander. And nice. Very early on, been around the channel for a long time now. We really appreciate Creepy.
Yep.
Let's see. And from I think that's Massachusetts. This is my understanding. You need to be the squeaky wheel without blowing out the tire. Absolute great terminology. Let them know your concerns without being loud, angry, or confrontational. Exactly. You can show concern, but you don't want to go in and have them dismiss you as, oh boy, we got a loon in here for the, and I'm saying it this way because this is how people think. They'd be like, oh, this one needs some help. This one needs some therapy. That's the kind of thing that you want to avoid. You want to come in, you want to be listened to, you want to be taken seriously. And that's very important that you word things in a certain way. You make it clear and concise, but you make it something that anyone can understand. And that's very important with that. And, as it comes to, I'd love to hear from some of our Canadian listeners. I would love to also hear from folks in the UK, folks in Australia, because I don't know about how things are handled in those countries. Like I said, my plans are not just to go out and do the 1A auditing here in the United States, but I also want to start going into other countries as well. But before I do any of that, well, first off, once I get the financial ability to do it, But one of the things that I'm going to do before I even think about going to those countries is I'm going to look into what are the legalities of it. What, because last thing I need to do is end up in a jail cell in Indonesia because I made the wrong person mad, and I'm just using Indonesia as an example. I don't want to end up, in a foreign jail cell. I don't want to end up in jail cell, period, but I certainly don't want to end up in a foreign jail cell where I don't know the laws. So, just got here, Stardust. No clue of the topic, but hope we're. Topic is we're talking about, trying to be on a more positive, more educational kind of approach tonight, where we're talking about the importance of. There's been a lot of division in those things lately, but I want to talk about how you can actually make an impact without, if you can't, like I said, there are a lot of people who cannot get out there. They can't do the boots on the ground. Being here is one thing that helps to support this community. I don't believe in the comment of there are commenters and there are doers. I just do not find any validity to that whatsoever, because the commenters are the ones who are doing also, because you are involved. You are helping to keep this community alive, and that is important. And so that's the topic tonight. And then I've been going over a lot of things about how you can contact your your U.S. Federal House of Representatives, how you can contact your senators, the federal senators, you can contact your state representatives, on down those different groups, and how, when you're doing it, how you want to do so in a way that is not making you, don't be over dramatic in how that you do it. You want to keep it on a more even keel, but you want to show some concern in what you are talking about. Also posted up how you can get hold of the United Nations. And I believe that was on drugs and crime, Office of Drugs and Crime, which also handles human trafficking and child trafficking. I put that email address into the comments a little bit earlier. Let's see, I might still have it here there we go. There is the UN address that's going to be coming up in just a second there. That is the email address. You can get hold of them. Wanting to reach out and talk to your lawyer friend, Zach, and sit down with him. Of course, it's going to be via video, but sit down and actually construct template type letters that you can present to your members of the House of Representatives, your state representatives, your state attorney generals, your local mayor and councils. But basically boilerplate type templates that you can use to get in touch with these people to express your concern. And of course, you'll be able to go through and change those to make it more personal on your end, add in actual facts that you have, actual evidence that you have, those kinds of things. But they are a basic boilerplate kind of thing. And I think with him being an actual licensed practicing attorney, I think it's very, very important to have him on, because he's going to be able to help guide through different levels of that. Having me with my experiences as both a law enforcement officer and as someone who has dealt with, I've actually been a consultant to the state of Michigan when it comes to certain things, when it comes to things about non-native species in the state of Michigan and people being able to own them. I've been been there as a consultant for the State Unarmed Combat Commission, which is the MMA and boxing group that's run by the state. Actually, the first professional MMA event that was not a UFC event that was held here in the state of Michigan, myself and a friend of mine actually showed the state inspectors how that the hand wrapping has to be. So I have a lot of experience in speaking in front of bodies as a non-law enforcement officer, and being able to talk to, state, county, city level kind of things. And those are, I would hope that would be something that would be able to be of value in drawing up a boilerplate letter for those things. Chad, your thoughts, things like that.
Oh, I certainly agree, Poe. That you did great by giving everyone an outlet. Now we can contact all of our state reps, and everyone can make a difference, even if you're just listening, like we said.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that you don't have to write the letters. You don't have to go to the meetings. Being here, showing your support, hitting that like, not just my channel, but the other SPTV channels that are out there. I've said it, many times. I said it a couple times tonight. The more, the merrier. The more channels we have that are exposing this, that's the more that the word gets out worldwide. I mean, we have people from the Icelandic regions. We have people from Australia. We have people from the United Kingdom that are here, not just the United States. We have someone from South America that is here that is normally in and coming to these things. So, this is getting out there worldwide. It's not just a matter of your local or the United States. V-bombs, I think it is also important not to speak bad about people. You get more with sugar than you do with vinegar. And there's a certain level to that, as you don't want to, you want to address the things, but you don't want to come into it antagonistically. That's a very big thing. Comment from KD. Officially in Canada, Scientology is not recognized as a religion. In Quebec province, Scientology hides in other groups. They are OSBL, nonprofit. And, one of the first steps with that, Kate, is that getting that word out there throughout Canada and making it very clear. This is who this is, and they're just doing it under a different name. And that's very important. Stardust, thank you, Poe. Many of us can't be present or boots on the ground as we'd like. Great topic. All supporters matter. Absolutely. Let's see here. Susan P, thank you for showing us how to contact people in government offices. Informative and very appreciated. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. I just don't appreciate Chad because he spits on me. So
I hear you, Poe.
Yeah, every time I talk to him, I feel like I've taken a shower. I got a towel off. So I'm joking. Dustin Soda Fountain. And make sure, Dustin, throw your link in there. Everybody make sure you get over there and show Dustin some love. He's getting out there just like Farrell Cheryl and a few other people, getting out there almost every day. First Amendment auditing Scientology in Clearwater, Florida. Sharifa, dear Poe, and chat. I need to go. Have a great chat. Thank you, hon, for being here, and I'm glad that you are feeling better. That is awesome. And Sharifa gifted 5 more memberships. Thank you so very much, hon. We really appreciate you. Make sure if you got that, you show Sharifa some love and tell her that you appreciate it. All right, Chad, you got any comments before we start wrapping this up?
Oh, this was very informative, Poe. Like I said about the state representatives, and everyone makes a difference just by watching.
Yeah. And that's the thing, folks. Like I said from the beginning, I wanted this be more of a positive, more of a welcoming kind of live stream tonight. The simple fact of it is that just because you don't have a YouTube channel, you don't have the ability to get out there, boots on the ground, as I've said, and that's just a way I say it, as being out there, First Amendment auditing or peaceful protesting, those kinds of things. Just because you can't do that doesn't mean you're not making a difference. You're not involved in the movement against Scientology. All right. It's the ways that, you're contacting your city hall, your township commission, your county commission, state representatives, state senators, United States representatives, United States senators, the FBI, the IRS, the United Nations, all of these things. These are all important. You can do that. Just an email out. You are doing something by doing it. And don't think that just because you can't get out there and be on the scene just like everybody else, don't think that you're not doing anything. You are being here, hitting the like, making sure that the word is getting out worldwide. That is what is important. We aren't stopping this fight. We aren't refusing to take the fight to them. And hopefully each and every one of you realize that, and you have the ability on your own to be able to do it as well. Do you ever sell cool stuff you make on your CNC machine? I do. Just get in touch with me if there's something interesting you'd like to see. I'm putting my email in here right now. But yeah, if there's something interesting, give you a good example. Right here behind me, you see the Poe on the Go sign right there. Literally just a few days ago, I designed that in on the laser and burn it all out, put it all together, and made a Poe on the Go. I have an SPTV sign that I'm working on right now, and the only reason it's taken me a while is that your prototype and all that, it takes you more time as you're getting everything fitted together. But once I've got that all set, those are the kinds of things I can make. There's a lot of different things that we can do with it. But everybody,
I do
Go
have
ahead.
one last thing. Since
Go ahead.
you're kind of razzing on me, I know it was just in fun,
Oh
but
yeah.
everyone, Poe, guys, Poe on the go is just as a good guy in person. He thinks he's still a cop, by the way, guys. He drives like a cop. He walks fast like a cop. But he does great things. He helped a lady in distress without even, I was still processing what was going on, and he was helping the lady out when she fell when we were having lunch, and but he's always looking out for just like an officer would. He's always looking out for the best interests of everyone.
Yeah, and it was Chad and I were up outside of what was that Ford's
Yep.
Garage
Yep.
in Tampa, or what Wesley Chapel,
Yeah, Wesley Chapel.
and we were standing out. There was like a 15-20 minute wait before we could get in. There was an elderly lady that had stepped up off of the sidewalk into this little parking divider thing that had gravel in it, and she lost her footing and she fell. And that's just who I am. Like I said, I have decades of being that, helping other people out, looking out for other people, and I don't think I react, and that's how I looked at it. And she was very embarrassed, and she was like, "I'm okay, I don't need your help." And I'm like, "Look, hon, there's nothing wrong in accepting help from others, and that's the truth, is that there is nothing wrong in that. There's nothing wrong with being a person that is out there helping people. I'm physically able to, so I helped, and that's how it is. And just because you can't do that doesn't mean you don't help either. Your concern, your attention, those kinds of things. We all do things in a different way. Like I said, between being in the United States Army, being a police officer, all the way up to chief of police, for me, my life has been mostly about helping everyone else. So that's just how I am, and that's how I react. Um,
It was impressive though, Poe, because my brain was still processing. Did that just happen? You know what I mean?
yeah,
And you know what I mean. Like, meanwhile, you're already helping the lady out.
that's how it happens. Let's see. Uh, let's see. John Anderson. Hey, Poe. I saw you're going to be live with Nasty Nathaniel tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I prefer to watch his Scientology audits more. Well, and everybody has people that they really like. And when Chad and I went to Clearwater, I know that in my case, it was a matter of I was trying to mold my First Amendment auditing after how Nasty does things. And I think Chad was doing the same thing with his. Whereas we're not trying to be confrontational, we are trying to be, showing, challenging our First Amendment rights and see if anyone's going to challenge them for us. I have a lot of respect for Nasty Nathaniel. I think he's a great guy, and I think he does a lot of important work. And I'm glad to see that he has a good sized channel and gets good content out there. Sharifa, Chad, that's nice to say, but that's why I have thank you.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much, Sharifa. Thank you. All right, folks. Well, like I said, each and every one of you that are here, each and every one of you that are watching, you are doing. You are part of this. You are helping. You are helping to spread the word. You're helping in the fight against this cult that is destroying people. And if we don't keep this fight up, then they never get stopped. And it may seem like it's something off on the horizon that you're looking across the ocean at that you're never going to see the end of. But believe me, at some point, this is all going to come to a head. They're not going to have the whales, as they call them, that are giving them the huge amount of money. That's going to start drying up at some point. They're losing numbers as they go. The fight is going to be won. We just can't back down from it. And remember, folks, life is short. You get one shot. Make it count.